Oh wow, all that, and I didn't even realize that I wasn't actually streaming. This is embarrassing. So it's the first day. It's the first day after the weird the dream that Shira had. Shira had another dream where he dreamed about the fire, and there was something something in the background that he doesn't remember seeing before. Shira has a cold now, possibly getting it from Sakura, so he's staying home today, and Sakura is staying home to take care of him. All right, let's keep going. I feel much better since eating Sakura's porridge. You know what? Let's see if we can't go back to the beginning. I don't feel right doing this just in the middle. Okay. February 5th. Heaven's Feel. 6. Beautiful 1. It's hot. How did this happen? I tucked myself in, closed my eyes, and said goodnight. But the next thing I knew, everything was red. It's hot. Mom woke me up before the noise did. It was so bright even though it was still nighttime. Dad picked me up, then ran down the burning hallway. It's hard to breathe. I heard Mom's voice behind me. She told Dad not to go on his own. He ruffled my hair and told me to wait outside. I nodded and did what he said. It hurts. Outside was the same as inside. Everyone was all red and my eyes hurt. So I closed my eyes and ran, trying to find somewhere that wasn't so hot. When I turned back to look, my house was already gone. It must be punishment for not following directions. My eyes hurt. I cry while I walk. I know I have to go home and wait, but I don't know where home is anymore. I stop covering my face with my hand and look up. I come face to face with it all for the first time. The town is burning in the distance. The fire won't go out. It's too late to change it now. This all happened 10 years ago. The flames burning far away are so distant, not physically, but in time. So hot. My skin hurts. My throat burns with every breath. My body creaks with each movement of life. When I try to run away, my ankles twist, caught on something heavy like shackles. Even as a child, I somehow intuit that the death of everyone around me is dragging my living self down with them. Huh? It's still hot. I claw at my throat, my nails scratching it red. Each breath I suck in inflicts stabbing pain on my burned esophagus. My eyeballs stop working, and my brain begins to steam in my skull. Why? It's hot. It's hot. So hot. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot. I remember. This is hot. Awfully hot. But it's cold. Terribly cold. Past the boiling point and back to freezing temperature. My burning blood is already hardened and stopped. Everything I see is backwards. It's hot. So it's cold. That's why it's so hot I'm losing my mind. However, what was the cause of it all? Raccoon! There was a black sun in the sky. It didn't feel especially strange to me that the sun was out at night or that it was black. After all, everything was crazy. It felt normal next to everything that was going on. And yet, I ran away. I was so scared. The fire around me wasn't scary. Compared to that black shadow, getting burned to death felt only human, only natural. So I ran. I knew that if it caught me, it would take me someplace even scarier. I look up at the sky in a daze. I know it'll rain eventually, and I slowly lower my upraised hand. Slowly, I open my eyelids. Not quite fully awake, I stare at my bedroom in a daze. A dream, huh? Still lying on my back, I feel relief. How many years has it been since I woke up from a dream feeling relieved? Depends on how you view the dream you had before it. But it was such a clear dream. I murmur aloud, feeling the heat on my cheeks. A long time ago, this nightmare used to haunt me and make me cry out at night. It happened 10 years ago. The memories were still fresh back then. Every time I went to sleep, I would find myself wandering in that inferno. I never imagined that I'd forget about it, especially while I was in the dream. When I fell asleep, it would all become real again. The sky that day, the burnt odor in the air, and the inescapable wall of fire. Even now, I think that hasn't changed, but it isn't as raw anymore. With time, wounds heal and memories dull. Over the last few years, all I really see when I dream about the fire is the color red. Why would it come back again in vivid detail, even down to the smell of ash in the air after all this time? And what was that? I don't know what that thing was, nor do I remember it. In fact, I didn't even see it. Ugh, I want to throw up. Just thinking about it makes me dizzy. A circuit breaker flips in my body and tells me not to think about it any further. I should get up, wash my face. I'm drenched in sweat because of the nightmare. I don't want my sheets to soak it up and get all gross, plus my brain is in a fog. Wait, what? My arms feel sluggish. In fact, I can't put any strength into them, and I can't even get up. Wait, what the heck? Dang it, even talking is a challenge. I slowly bring my hand to my face and realize it's pretty warm. Wow, did I catch a cold too? That's a surprise. This is the first time I've ever caught a cold. I've lost count of the number of times I've been battered and bruised, but I've never gotten a common cold before. Maybe that's why I had the dream. I'm burning up, so I was burning in my dreams too. Yeah, that makes sense. I can't think straight, so it's little wonder I'd have a dream or two. Whoa. Whoa, wait, what am I lying around for? Wait, why? How? I frantically sit up. Then I check under the covers. This is hardly the time to be worrying about feeling sluggish or tired. If anything happened, then I need to run to the bathroom in the morning and destroy the evidence. My first priority is to purify myself and then exercise my right to silence. To be frank, Shiro's stock in the Emiya household is in free fall. Oh, wasn't that bad. Thank goodness. My entire body is drenched in sweat, but there isn't really anything else off about it. That was a dream, right? Yeah, it was that kind of dream. There's no way I went to school while I was asleep, and I've never done anything that crazy with Tosaka. My subconscious went there all on its own. After all, I'm still in the clothes I was wearing when I went to bed, and Saber's been in the next room the entire time. Yeah, Saber would have noticed if I went outside. I sigh in palpable relief. At once, the tension drains from my body, and I dramatically fall back on the floor.
シロ、どうしました？今音がしたようですが。
I hear Saber's voice behind the sliding door. See? Even that was enough to get her attention, so it had to be a dream. Yep, a dream. It was absolutely, positively a dream. If it wasn't, then I don't know how I'll look at Tosaka in the eye ever again.
シロ、
Hey, good morning, Saber.
どうしたのですシロ。横になったまま挨拶をするなどあなたらしくもない。
Oh, I just woke up in a state I didn't expect. Saber looks puzzled. Now, I'm thinking my lucky stars that was only a dream, but now I have to confront a different trial. I feel slow and I can't even stand up, so how am I supposed to make breakfast?
37度6分。シローが風邪ひくなんて珍しいわね。
She casually gives me my diagnosis, thermometer in one hand. I already figured that was the case, so it doesn't come as a surprise. But a cold would make me feel But a cold would make me feel this heavy, huh?
それで痛いとこは他にある？喉が痛いとか頭痛いとか。
No, not really. My body just feels heavy and hot. Is that weird?
痛いところがないんならその方がいいかな。あ、けどシローは我慢しちゃう子だから気づいてないだけかもしれないか。念のため他の薬も用意しとく。
Fujine takes the cold medication and cough drops out of the first aid box. She's an old hand at patching up lacerations and the like, but it looks like she isn't used to treating illnesses like this. Thanks, Fujine. Sorry, I don't think I can make breakfast.
バカなこと言ってないの。シローと朝ごはんどっちが大切だと思ってんのよ。セイバーちゃんが呼んでくれたからよかったものの、いつも通りご飯作ってたら本当に雷落としたんだから。
She growls in sincere anger. She's right, obviously.
それとご飯なら心配いらないからね。さくらちゃんがおかゆ作ってくれたからお腹が減ったら食べなさい。
Huh? Sakura made porridge? She must be feeling better then. Sakura, are you doing okay? You seemed in even worse shape than me yesterday.
はい、ちゃんと熱は引きましたから心配はいりません。夜も怖くなかったし、ぐっすり眠れちゃいました。これも先輩が見てくれたおかげです。
Oh, that's good. I thought it would take longer, but I'm relieved that it took her only a night to recover.
そっか、忘れてた。昨日はさくらちゃんが風邪ひいてたんだっけ。
Huh? Yeah, so? I don't like that look on your face, so stop whatever you're about to say.
もしかしてシロー、さくらちゃんの風邪がうつるような真似しちゃったの？
What? Why would I do that?
あれ？わからない？さくらちゃんの熱は下がってるんでしょ？ならシローがなんかしたんじゃないの？昔から風邪は人にうつすと治るって言うし。
I look at Sakura, not understanding. She's got a million different expressions and they all say the same thing. Oh! Finally, I realize what Fujine is running her mouth off about. You idiot! I only went over to take her temperature and give her medicine. You're not allowed to make any more of those jokes. It's rude to Sakura. I feel myself blushing furiously. I imagine my 37-degree fever just climbed to 38.
なんてね、わかってるわよそんなの。シローにはそんな解消ないもんね。
That kind of annoys me too. It's fine, but it's fine as long as that's cleared up.
よしよし。それじゃ欠席届は出しとくから今日はゆっくり休んでること。セイバーちゃん、シローをよろしくね。この子ほっとくと何でもしちゃうから布団に縛り付けておいて。
Yeah, still feels a little uncomfortable, even if this is the second time I'm reading it.
元よりそのつもりです。シローが起き出さぬよう監視をし、食事を与えればいいのですね。
Clarification is needed on that one, Saber.
うわ、なんか物騒な言い回しだけど、 間違ってないからいっか。セイバーちゃん、その通りにお願い。
You're the one who was suggesting the intense part. Saber nods. Is it just me or did I get a vague feeling of danger?
じゃあセイバーちゃんの言うことちゃんと聞いて、私たちが帰ってくるまでおとなしくしてるのよ。夕ご飯は精のつくもの買ってきてあげるから、それまでに体を治しておくこと。
Fujin nods with a smile at the impossible mission she's giving me. Behind her, Sakura looks downcast. She looks like she wants to say something that's weighing on her mind.
行ってきまーす。お土産期待しててねー。
Fujine waves goodbye and leaves for work. Phew. I see Fujine off, then go back to bed. All I did was go from my bedroom to a porch, but the effort made me so short of breath I collapsed right back into bed. My fever isn't that high, but evidently I'm physically exhausted. Fujine is right. I won't be able to do much until I recover my strength in bed. Then Sakura comes to my room, even though it's already past 7:30. Sakura, it's already 7:30. Shouldn't you leave before you're late for school? Sakura awkwardly avoids meeting my gaze, just as I notice that she's making the same expression as earlier when she looked like she wanted to say something.
先輩、私ここに残っちゃいけませんか？
Just as I noticed that she's making the same expression as earlier when she looked like she wanted to say something, she looks up and asks me a question. She means staying home from school, right? Oh, do you still have a fever?
いえ、熱はもう引いてます。ただ、
She hesitates like it's hard to say. She does still look pale, and it isn't reasonable to expect her to fully recover overnight after how bad she looked yesterday. Right, you had a cold too, but are you sure? Don't you need to get your absence excused?
はい、スルーしちゃおうかなって。
She means skipping class by pretending to be sick? Why? You actually have a cold, so it isn't lying. If you have a fever, you should sleep in your room.
ですから、私の体はいいんです。
I understand even less now. What's Sakura trying to say?
そのですね、先輩が風邪をひいたのって私のせいだと思うんです。
Hey, don't just take what Fujine said at face value. That's not what happened. I've been going out for late night walks lately, so it's my own fault.
それでもいいんです。私は元気で、昨日のお礼というか先輩の看病がしたいのでズルしちゃいたいんです。
Apparently, Sakura feels responsible for my illness. If I'm being honest, I would feel better having her around. Saber needs to sleep, and it would be easier for me if Sakura could prepare the medicine.
先輩。
Okay, then I'm counting on you, Sakura.
そうですよね。先輩にはセイバーさんがいるし、私が残っても何も。先輩？
I'm asking you to take care of me.
私ですよね。
Yeah, Saber's still jet-lagged, so she sleeps during the day. I know it's pathetic of me to ask, but I'd appreciate it if you could make lunch today.
はい。私、精一杯頑張りますね、先輩。
Sakura's expression transforms into a sunny smile, her earlier nervousness gone. Yeah, a smile looks better on her face. Time passes. It's now 10 a.m. I feel much better since eating Sakura's porridge. The sluggishness I felt this morning is gone. It doesn't impede my movement, and I think I could go to school if I wanted. However, I wonder if it wasn't a cold after all, but maybe it was a result of serious malnutrition. I wonder if it wasn't a cold after all, but maybe the result of serious malnutrition. Just as I make to get out of bed.
あ、ダメです。先輩、熱が下がるまで絶対安静ですからね。
Sakura rushes over and pushes me down. Whew. And Sakura seems so enthusiastic. She made me breakfast, and I still feel pretty slow, so I decide to stay laying down. After feeding me Okayu, please forgive me for butchering that. After feeding me rice porridge, she leaves, saying she has something else to do. Saber's resting in the living room. She was kneeling in a corner of my room until just earlier, but it was making me nervous, so I asked her to move to the living room. She protested, naturally, but I convinced her to take up a different guard post just for today.
失礼します。お体の調子はどうですか、先輩？
A lot better, thanks to you. I still feel slow, but my fever's coming down.
よかった。それじゃあもうお薬はいりませんね。あとは美味しいものを食べてゆっくり休んでいれば安心です。
Sakura goes into the room next door and brings out the new futon. What are you doing, Sakura?
何って新しいお布団ですよ。先輩はずっと汗をかいてたんですから、そろそろ変えないといけないかなって。
She lays out the futon next to mine, patting it flat in a practiced motion. To my surprise, there isn't any dust at all.
はい、用意できました。どうぞ先輩、こちらに移ってください。あ、その前に着替えですね。私はお布団を干してきますから、新しい寝巻きに着替えておいてください。
After the futon, Sakura brings out a stack of clean sleepwear. Such flawless nursing. This goes beyond mere experience of thoughtfulness. It's a genetic skill. It's gotta be baked into your DNA.
先輩、何か言いました？
It's inappropriate, I know. I'm glad you stayed home from school today. It's like I'm seeing a brand new side of you, to be honest.
当然ですよ。もうじき1年半ですからね。先輩のお家のことはちゃんと分かっているんです。
Sakura proudly puffs out her chest. Her confidence and positivity feel infectious. Alright, then take care of the bed. I'll be a good patient and follow orders.
はい、任せてください。布団を干し終わったらリンゴ剥いてきますから、期待して待っていてくださいね。
Sakura goes into the hallway, carrying the futon I've been sleeping in. Wow, she took everything with her. Impressed by her high spirits, I changed into the pajamas she brought me. Now then, I dry myself off with a towel, change into clean pajamas, and obediently get back into bed to wait for Sakura. How long is this all taking, I wonder? Sakura peels me an apple as promised. I enjoy snacking on it and...
もう無理は禁物ですよ、先輩。
She scolds me even though I feel better now, so I lie back down. So Saber helped you?
はい、何もしていないのも疲れるからって。おかげで客間のお掃除もできて助かりました。
Huh. I'd like to see Saber wringing out some washcloths. So she pushed a washcloth up and down the hall. I'd like to see Saber wringing out some washcloths. So she pushed a washcloth up and down the hallway?
はい、二人で一緒に頑張りました。セーバーさん、これはこれで参考になるなんてこと言ってましたけど。
Sakura smiles, looking slightly troubled. She might have gotten used to Saber, but she still seems to be getting used to dealing with her. Okay. Anyway, good work, but don't work too hard. You're still recovering too. It's already a lot of effort just to take care of me, so you don't need to worry about cleaning too.
そんなことありません。ここで朝を過ごして夕方もご飯を食べさせてもらっているんです。ならお掃除をするのは当然ですよ。私だってこの家の一員なんですから。
Sakura mumbles under her breath, not wanting to sound rude by wishing it was true. That's right. You, Fujine, and me, we're like family.
先輩。
Sorry for keeping you at a distance. If you're family, then it's only normal for us to take care of one another. I know I'd look after you too if you collapse, no matter how awkward it makes you feel. So I'm the one being silly for trying not to impose. I apologize. The conversation stops. After a moment's surprise during which Sakura held her breath.
はい。分かってもらえたのならいいです。先輩はちょっと人のことを大切にしすぎだと思います。
She smiles happily and straightens out my sheets for me. It made me realize something, finally. How beautiful this house is. The reason we've been tending to the... The reason we've been tending to the unused rooms without even really thinking about it, how lively and lived in it feels, just like when my old man was still around. My underclassman at school, my friend's little sister. That's what Sakura was to me when we first met, but she's been protecting this home even more than I have. For the last year and a half, the days were truly peaceful. I took it for granted so much that I never noticed. Sakura brought me and Fujine something that we never could have obtained on our own. Absently, I look up at Sakura. Maybe it's because I still have a slight fever, or because Sakura looks so happy taking care of me. When I see her smile, it warms me up inside and makes me sleepy. I'm pretty sleepy. It feels nice. I feel bad for sleeping until lunchtime, but for now, I think I'll close my eyes and...
けど先輩、私は先輩のそういうところが大好きです。
Huh? I think she just said something that would send my heart aflutter. Sakura?
先輩、起きてたんですか？
Sakura backs away from me in a panic. If she reacts like that, it only makes me blush. In fact, I'm worried I'm going to spike another fever. Sakura.
何も言ってません。私、何も言ってませんから。顔を覗き込んだのはですね。熱を測ろうって思ったんです。
She hastily takes out the thermometer and looms over me.
先輩、体温計です。熱を測りますから、加えてください。
You sure that's not a rectal? The thermometer inches threateningly towards me, its holder losing her composure. I feel something squishy. It only brushed me, but it was Sakura's chest. My brain reaches its boiling point. Sanity begins to crack under the strain of forbidden memories spring me back to mind, and the sensation of an all too real female. Whoa! Wait, Sakura, time out! I make a last-ditch effort to roll out of bed. My body slides out of the futon. My first priority is to get away from away from Sakura.
先輩、お熱を測りたいんですけど。
I'm fine. I can do it myself, so stop right there.
先輩がそういうのでしたらいいですけど。はい。それじゃあ体温計。
Here's the thermometer. No! Not right now. Just give me a minute to calm down. If you get any closer, it'll remind me of last night's dream and I'll die! I make a stop sign gesture, my face beat red. But
昨日の夢ですか?
I must be acting really weird because Sakura suddenly gives me a dubious look. I had a bad nightmare. I'm trying not to think about it, so I need you to stay over there. Just saying, but you didn't do anything wrong. I'm the one who lacks training.
はあ、修行不足ですか?
Sakura watches me vacantly. Anyone would after hearing something like that.
先輩、その夢、一体どんな夢だったんですか?
No way I could answer that! It was no big deal. Just a bad dream.
先輩?
Oof. Sakura's eyes become concerned. I can't lie to her, but I also can't tell her the truth. So I... Ooh. I'll save. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to her. There's no helping it now. I'll tell her the facts without giving away too much. Good choice. Hang on for a moment. Alright, I'm back.
先輩、誰が出てきたんですか?
Wait, why are you asking who? Well, the only there was Tosaka. She immediately lures me into spilling the beans.
そうですか。そういえば、この前ここに来たんでしたっけ? 登坂先輩。
Yeah, she just gave me some first aid and left right after.
わかりました。それじゃあ体温計、ここに置いていきますね。
Uh-oh. Sakura sets the thermometer down on the floor and walks to the bedroom door with heavy steps.
お昼の支度がありますから、失礼します。支度が済んだら呼びに来ますから、それまで休んでいてください。
She shuts the door with a soft thud. The sounds of her departing footsteps feels colder than usual. Did I make the wrong choice?
ごちそうさまでした。
Thanks for the meal. We mutually thank our cook.
お粗末様でした。先輩もセイバーさんも綺麗に食べてくれましたね。
Sakura starts cleaning up. On the dining table are a clay pot, 3 bowls, and all the garnishes you would need for udon. Oh, let me clean up. My fever's better, so it's the least I can do.
そうですか。それじゃあ体力検査ということでお願いしちゃいますね。洗い物は私がやりますから、先輩は食器運びとテーブル周りの後片付けをやっちゃってください。
Sakura puts on her apron and moves to the kitchen. I'll bring the clay pot and bowls over then.
シロ、体は大丈夫なのですか? 熱は下がったと聞きましたが、顔色はまだ悪いではないですか?
Huh? Am I still pale?
いいえ、青いというのではなく悪いのです。マスター、魔術師にとって生命線ともいえる魔力が不足している。昨夜の戦闘ではシローに負担をかけた覚えはありませんが、あの境内そのものに魔力を吸い上げる仕掛けがあったのかもしれません。
Now that she mentions it, Rito Temple did feel off somehow. All the people inside were weakened, so maybe Casper set up a bounded field to drain life energy from humans inside. I'm feeling better now, so it's no problem. My magical energy will come back if I get nutrition. My energy capacity isn't much to sneeze at anyway, so I'm sure it'll fill back up once I eat dinner.
当事者であるあなたがそう言うのならこれ以上追求しませんが、まったくさくらの言う通りです。シロはどうも自分のことをないがしろにしている節がある。
Saber stacks the 3 bowls while saying that.
さくらに渡せばいいのですね。そちらの鍋も私が運びますから、シロはテーブルを拭いていてください。
She heads to the kitchen without waiting for my reply.
さくら、食器はここに。
あれ、セイバーさん。はい、洗い物はそこに置いといてください。
なるほど。それとさくら、先ほどの昼食は美味でした。
私なんてまだまだです。おかゆとおうどんは先輩の独壇場ですからね。
I hear a cheerful conversation from the kitchen. Hey, those two get along pretty well after all. Maybe they hit it off when they were cleaning up after breakfast. Anyway, it's good to see them get along. Guess I'll make some afternoon tea then. I place a small teapot and tea leaves on the table. It's almost 1 o'clock. It's the perfect time for an after-lunch break. I'm gonna say I'm gonna need a snack because you still trying to recover magical energy, so I'll have a snack. Oh right, I bought some dorayaki the other day on impulse. They're little pancakes filled with red bean jam. I hid them so that Fujine wouldn't eat them right away, but nearly forgot about them too.
先輩、冷蔵庫開けて何するんですか？
Just a little something as a reward for your work. I dig through the lowest part of the refrigerator beneath all the vegetables, where Fujine would never look. It's a hiding place I've used for years, burying the trees deep enough that Fujine won't find them, but not so deep that they won't be discovered before their expiration date.
あれ？先輩、どうして野菜入れから江戸前屋さんの紙袋が出てくるんですか？
Sakura stares at the paper bag with a mixture of surprise and anticipation. By the way, Edamaya is a bakery in the shopping district. They're famed for their taiyaki buns, dorayaki pancakes, and takoyaki octopus bites. Their prices are low enough that even kids can afford to eat there, and it's incredibly popular with the students at school thanks to their customer service and generous portions of red bean jam. On top of that, I know Sakura is very fond of their taiyaki.
いっぱい入ってますね。てっきりじゃがいもを補充したのかなって思ってましたけど。
That's the idea. I camouflaged them so well that even I forgot about them, but I set them up so that we'd find them once we used up the carrots. I take out the ticking time bombs as far as Fujine is concerned. On that note, let's have Edomaya's dorayaki with tea after lunch. Or should I wait until afternoon tea at 3 o'clock? We just ate, so maybe you don't have an appetite yet? In any case, I put the bag of dorayaki on a tray so that we don't forget about it.
先輩はお腹いっぱいなんですか？
I'm stuffed. Lunch was so good I had seconds. I don't think I'll be hungry for a while.
そうですよね。私もそうだと思ってました。じゃあお楽しみは後に取っておくということで。
後にするのですか？私は十分余力を残していますが。
Oh, well, looks like someone's still hungry. You ate as much as Sakura did, so I'm impressed.
食欲というよりは興味です。糖分は分かりやすい活力源ですし、どら焼きという和菓子は初めて聞くものですから。
Now I get it. Saber's a European, so desserts such as dorayaki and yokan must be curiosities. Okay, then I'll brew the tea. There's too much for Saber to eat by herself, so we can set the extra dorayaki aside for 3 o'clock.
先輩、つかぬことをお聞きするんですけど、買ってきたどら焼きは何個くらいなんでしょうか。
5, I think. I was thinking we could each have one, then split the rest into half so that anyone else can help themselves too.
なるほど。その計算では最大で3つ食しても良いと。
Yeah, but you'd feel sick after eating 3 dorayaki, right? Okay, you would probably be fine. I'd take the tray back to the living room. To show my appreciation for the 2 people doing the bulk of the cleaning, I readied the dorayaki and tea.
終わりました。それがどら焼きですね、シロ。
Huh? She's already here. Saber is seated on a cushion, eyeing the tea tray hungrily. Sakura also finishes washing the dishes and gracefully sits down with us. Sakura? What happened?
何もないです。私、先輩と一緒でお腹いっぱいですから。
I don't really get it, but I poured 3 cups of tea anyway.
それではいただきます。
With a brief formality, Saber reaches for the dorayaki. The bout is over in an instant. After a hesitant first bite, Saber wordlessly takes a second, then a third bite of the dorayaki. The sweetness doesn't seem to bother her, and she continues unabated until she completely devours the first dorayaki.
なるほど。単純な料理ですが、お茶に合う味ですね。
She takes another graceful sip of tea, then reaches unerringly for the second dorayaki. Sakura anxiously watches this all happen. Wait, is Sakura fidgeting because...
確かに、これは食後の口休めとはいきませんね。
Saber munches on a second treat, then reaches for a third. Wait, Saber, leave the rest for now.
はい。元より余る分を受け持っただけですから、それは構わないのですが。残りはシロが食べるのですか？
Yeah, I'll leave them with Sakura. I'll take one, Sakura will have one, and then the last one. I tear the third dorayaki in half. Well, split like this. Is it alright, Sakura?
はい、もちろんです。今すぐにでも食べられます。
I knew it. Sakura was trying to be polite. She's always ready for a dorayaki or 2. Then we'll eat these. I worked up an appetite after watching Saber.
はい、賛成です。これくらい簡単に片付けちゃいますね。
Sakura picks up a dorayaki enthusiastically. She loves dorayaki, though not quite as much as taiyaki. Still, of course, I'm happy as the person who bought them. But I hope Sakura doesn't regret this moment on the bathroom scale later. After my break, I feel much better. My fever seems to have been due to fatigue, so I'm back to normal after resting for half a day.
ではシロ、午後は鍛錬に使うのですね。
I nod at Saber. Even though I've just gotten over an illness, I don't want to waste time. I can't improve my magecraft in a few days, but I can work on my combat skills. Having Saber train me until dinner should be a good use of my time. It's been a few hours since I started training. My sparring with Saber can't be likened to Kendo. To begin with, Saber isn't trained in Kendo, but it seems like she has no intention of teaching me swordplay. No, What Saber is literally pounding into me is combat itself. She's getting me used to fighting for my life so that I'll be able to maintain my composure and physical performance in a mortal battle against another master. This was Saber's idea, and I'm extremely grateful for the crash course. I won't be able to improve my swordsmanship enough to matter in 1 or 2 days. Shiro Emiya can only rely on the body he's trained until this day. If I could gain enough experience to respond to a life or death situation, that'll be the surest weapon of all.
そこ
Ow! And, as you'd expect, the instant I'm distracted by my thoughts, Saber nails me squarely in the chest with a thrust from her shinai.
シロ、射程外に退避したことで気が緩むようでは話になりません。今のように気を緩めるのはこの家にいる時だけにしなければ。
Sorry, I did drop my guard there. I cough as I get up, rubbing the spot where she stabbed me.
シロは驚くほど鋭い時もあれば呆れるほど好きだらけの時もある。その揺らぎをうまく制御できれば。いえ、縁側でさくらが手を振っています。どうやらシロを呼んでいるようですが。はい、鍛錬を始めて2時間ですから少し休憩を入れましょう。
先輩。そのお電話です。さっきから待っていますから、どうぞ。
Okay, and my mic's back on. I am really just dropping this, making sure everything is on bit today. Sakura steps away from the phone. A phone call? At this hour? Is it Fujine? I pick up the receiver, expecting her to ask me to bring her something she left at home. Let's see. Hello? I've just been handed the phone. This is Emiya speaking.
エミヤですがじゃない。あんた何無断で学校休んでんのよ。
The speaker roars in my ear. Actually, there must be some crazy magecraft at work to make such a small speaker fill the room with her shouting. Ah, that hurt! My ears ring and my head throbs.
ちょっと聞いてる？エミヤくん本当に無事なんでしょうね。
And what is with that sound effect? Is that the whole ringing ears thing? I hear you, so lower your voice a little. You're going to burst my eardrums if you do that again.
相変わらずっていうかずれてるっていうか、とにかくその様子じゃ何もなかったみたいね。はあ、心配して損したわ。
Well, sorry about that. Anyway, what do you want? Something must have happened. Something must have happened for you to call all of a sudden.
なんかあったのはそっちでしょ。あんた昨日あれだけ忠告したのに竜道寺に行ったでしょ。
How do you know that?
見張り役を置いといたからよ。まあその様子じゃ何もなかったみたいね。学校にいなかったからそのちょっと良くない想像したっていうか。
Wait, so if nothing happened, does that mean... No, it can't mean Kuzuki... It can't mean Kuzuki still showed up at school because Castor supposedly killed her... Castor supposedly killed him. Supposedly. You mean you think I got myself killed?
そうよ。ズタズタにされて 裏山に埋められたのかと思った。
That's a lot worse than a little mishap. I hate to disappoint you, but I'm not exactly fighting fit, but I'll manage. So what do you want, Tosaka?
だからそれは。
Enough digging for intel on each other. Oh, you want to know about the master at Ryoto Temple? They were gone by the time we got there. They got betrayed by their own servant, by Castor. And then, I shouldn't say any more. I've been speaking in a low voice, but Sakura is still behind me. I shouldn't mention anything shocking like people dying. Anyway, there isn't a master or servant at Ryoto Temple anymore. That's what you wanted to ask, right?
そうよ。わかってるじゃない。
Then I'm hanging up. I'm in the middle of training and I'm sore all over. I end with a later and move to replace the receiver.
ちょっと待った。
What now? I thought we were done.
あるわよ。いいから明日は学校に来なさいよね。大事な話があるんだから。
Slam, beep, boop. Slam, beep, beep. The caller violently hangs up. That's so Tosaka. Jeez. She's mad that I went yesterday and now she's telling me to come? There's no pleasing her. I return the phone to the receiver to its base. I turn around to go back to the living room and finish making tea. But Sakura is in my way. Sakura? What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
いや、熱なんてありません。ただ、先輩、すごく嬉しそうだったから、どうしたのかなって。
Huh? Me? Happy? Is she saying that I was happy that Tosaka called me? No way. I'm mad, actually.
だからです。先輩、自分で気づいてない。
Sakura awkwardly avoids meeting my eyes. I'm still confused, but I take the chance to finish making tea for 3. By the time training is over, everything outside is suffused in dark red light.
先輩、ブリの下ごしらえ終わりました。あとはかぼちゃとトマトですね。
Yeah, I took care of those. Next, we'll season the sauce and grill them once that's done. Oh, and I'm going to steam the egg custard, so get the big bowls. Fujine splurged and bought crab yesterday for some reason.
カニ風味かまぼこ五目ですね。あれ、美味しくて綺麗だから大好きです。
Yeah, I love crab too. With a huff of exertion, Sakura sets the bowls down on the kitchen counter. I put my heart into making dinner as thanks for everyone's help during breakfast and lunch. I prefer it if Sakura relaxed in the living room like Saber, but she's stubborn about helping as she always does. In the middle of the dinner hustle, the doorbell rings. And it can't be Fujine because she wouldn't use the doorbell. She would not. She would just bust right in. Sakura's here next to me, so it must be a visitor.
私が行ってきます。新聞の勧誘ならお断りしますね。
Sakura? Sakura goes to the house entrance before I can stop her. Something is making me anxious. I put down the daikon I've been peeling and go to check the front door. Whoever it is keeps ringing the doorbell. The non-stop ding-donging sounds almost manic. Who wants to bet it's Tosaka? Sakura lets the visitor know she's coming and unlocks the door. An instant later...
さあ、そろそろ家に帰る時間だぞ、Sakura.
Oh! Even more awkward. I hear a smooth, melodramatic voice. It clashes with the rude way its owner shoves his way into the house. It all happened in a second. The doorbell rang non-stop.
はい、どちら様ですか？
Sakura unlocked the door. Shinji wrenched the door open and stepped inside.
兄さん。
さあ、そろそろ家に帰る時間だぞ、さくら。
Without missing a beat, Shinji grabs Sakura's arm and drags her towards the door, ignoring her dismay. What? Run. By the time I get there, Shinji's already 1 foot out the door. What do you think you're doing, Shinji?
やあ、エミヤ。妹を連れて帰るために兄貴が迎えに来たんだが、どこかおかしいかい？
You're taking her home?
おいおい、このうちじゃ妹の迎えに兄貴が来たらおかしいっていうのか？だいたいさ、人の妹をそそのかしてるのはお前じゃないか、エミヤ。まさかそれで僕の弱みを握ろうなんて考えているんじゃないだろうね。
I don't know what to say. Did Shinji just...
あ、それとも何かい？いざとなったら大事な妹を盾にして影にこそこそ隠れようってのかい？そりゃまた随分と卑怯な真似をするな、エミヤは。
He actually went there.
ああ？何その顔？お前バカじゃねえの
？Shinji.
いいじゃん今の声。いいぜ。この前の続きをやってやるよ、エミヤ。
My hands fall into fists. I can't keep my cool. I don't care if this is the wrong choice. I can't take this, nor should I. My hands ball into fists. Shinji smirks as if laughing at my anger, then tenses.
やめて、兄さん。お願いだから、ここでだけはやめてください。
Sakura's sobbing voice brings me back to my senses. Sakura.
驚いたな。お前が僕にそんな口聞くの、もしかして初めてじゃないか？
Shinji's voice is filled with an amusement I've never heard from him before. Sakura stares at the ground, slightly trembling.
で、さくらはどうしたい？ここに残るか、魔刀家に帰るか。僕は優しいからね。可愛い妹の意見は尊重するよ。
言うことを聞くから、先輩の前でだけはやめてください。
僕の言うことを聞くんだな、さくら。
Sakura nods wordlessly.
そうか。そこまで言われちゃさくらを連れ戻すのはやめておくよ。僕は寛大な兄貴だからね。妹のやりたいことはさせてやらなきゃな。そうだろエミヤ。
Shinji.
そんな怖い顔で見るなよ。さっきのはただの冗談。場の雰囲気に合わせたジョークじゃんか。いつまでも根に持ってると陰湿なやつだと思われるぜ。
You are the last person to criticize people about holding grudges and being a loser. Shinji returns to the door.
じゃあな、さくらをよろしく頼むよ、エミヤ。けどさくら、気が向いたらいつでも帰ってきていいんだぞ。
He leaves with a wave. Shinji departs the Emiya house without Sakura. I resume making dinner. I don't know what to talk about, so I just cut tomatoes and pumpkin. The only sound in the kitchen is the chop chop of knife on cutting board. This is awkward.
先輩、ご飯炊けましたよ。内村先生はまだですけど、そろそろご飯にしちゃいます？
Yeah. It's a little early, but let's do that.
はい。それじゃあ早速準備しますね。
Sakura moves briskly, helping me as if the earlier confrontation never happened. But it's obvious she's forcing herself to act that way. Sakura's acting calm because she doesn't want me to worry. If that's Sakura's choice, then I can only play along. She's the one who's most troubled right now. Even if it's a forced smile, I should still give her a smile of my own, huh? Sakura? I hear the sound of a bowl dropping in turn. A shattered rice bowl is at Sakura's feet. She suddenly collapses. The strength goes out of her legs and she falls to her knees, then backwards. Sakura! I rush over and support her. A fever? It's bad. I can't feel Sakura's fever. I can feel Sakura's fever even through her uniform. Sakura, hey, get it together! Her voice is listless. Even though she's on the verge of passing out, I can tell she's... Even though she's on the verge of passing out, I can tell she's doing her best to form words. You still haven't gotten over your cold, obviously. You idiot! People don't pass out when they're okay! Dang it, I'm such a fool! How could I have let Sakura work hard all day when I knew she's still sick? Throw in what happened earlier on top of that, and it's no surprise she fainted from the mental and physical stress. I scooped Sakura up in my arms. Dinner could wait. I'm going to tuck you into bed. I'll take any complaints once you get better. I walk to the guest house carrying Sakura in my arms. I ignore anything she tries to say along the way. To be honest, I'm in such an intense mood that her words barely register anyway. After a while, Sakura takes the hint and stops protesting by the time we get to the guest room. She looks somber and does what I ask. The fever appears to have worsened, though the rest of her body doesn't feel any warmer. I leave the guest room. Time to change the dinner menu. I need to hurry and make okiaku and something to accompany it. It's almost 10 p.m. Dinner is over, and it's time to get ready to go out on patrol. Sakura is sleeping in her bedroom. I ate dinner with Saber. Fujine didn't come over. Maybe she's busy.
Shiro, そろそろ時間ですが。
Saber wants to head out. Tonight, we'll save. And no, I'm worried for Sakura. I can't leave Sakura alone tonight. My presence alone won't make her any better, but I want to be able to help her right away in case she needs it. Sorry, Saber. We're not going out on patrol tonight. I'm worried about Sakura.
わかりました。マスターの指示に従います。
Huh? That's a surprise. I was sure Saber would be against it, but she simply accepted what I said without protest.
勘違いはしないように。体調が優れないのはさくらだけではありません。シロウも同様に疲労しているから今夜は休息するのです。あなたの魔力は未だ満たされていない。さくら同様、今夜は無理をせず休むことです。
Okay. Thanks, Saber.
礼は不要です。私はシロウのサーバント。主の体を第一に考えるのは当然です。
Hang on just a moment. Alright, I'm back.
で、シロ、理解ある家臣に与える褒美とかそういったものはないのですか？
Saber asked me a question. Saber asked me a question, her tone adorably mixed with petulance and anticipation. Hang on, Saber. I divined her desire for a midnight snack and assembled a tray of tea and cookies that Fujine bought just for her, grinning wryly all the while. My magic circuit closes. Once the red-hot rod leaves my spine, I sigh in relief. My daily routine, which I've been neglecting lately, goes off without a hitch to my surprise. Maybe it's thanks to my contract with Saber. I've always had a hard time forming my magic circuit, but it's easy now. Still, it isn't of much use if it takes me a whole minute to do it. All I can do is strengthen something into a weapon. If I'm taken by surprise, I'd still be in desperate straits with no way to defend myself. If I could at least shorten it by half to about 30 seconds. Maybe I'll ask Tosaka for advice next time. I bet she knows a more efficient way to create a magic circuit. I don't know what she'll want in return, though, so I can't just ask her on a moment's notice. I heard her footsteps on dirt. They're slow and unhurried. It's midnight. The person who comes to the shed letting moonlight guide your path is...
先輩、まだ起きてますか？
Sakura. The color of her face looks a little better. But my mind goes blank. Sakura's wearing something I haven't seen before. I take incomprehensible damage. They're clothes that Fujine gave her, but seeing Sakura out of her school uniform sends my head spinning.
先輩、
Yeah, I'm awake. Are you sure you should be up? It's cold outside.
はい、熱はほとんど下がりました。気分転換に外に出たら、こっちで物音がしたから、先輩かなって。
Well, make sure you warm yourself up and get some sleep later. Glad to see you're feeling better. I light the stove I just fixed. Good, it turns on. It'll warm us up a little. Come on over. It's cold here too, but it's still better than outside. If you want someone to talk to before you go back to bed, I'm here for you.
はい、それじゃあ、お邪魔しますね、先輩。
Sakura makes her way towards me with sure steps. I'm glad. She really does look like she's feeling better.
あったかい。ちゃんと治ったんですね、これ。
Somehow, it was so worn out when I first worked on it that I just about gave up.
そうですね。あんなの直すぐらいなら、藤姉が真っ二つにしたビデオデッキを直すぞって怒ってました。けど結局、捨てられずに持ち帰ったんですよね。
Well, this piece of junk isn't the only one who doesn't know when to give up. The stove was broken, and once I saw that it could be fixed, I just couldn't leave it alone.
先輩、一度いたら聞かないから。物分かりがいいようですっごく頑固なんですよ。気づいてました？
I'm stubborn, huh?
頑固ですよ。それにすっごく強引なんです。さっきだって私の話を全然聞いてくれませんでしたから。
Well then, Sakura's in an oddly good mood, even though she's scolding me. Not that I'm unhappy to see her in good spirits again. Sorry, I got a little intense back there, so I wasn't thinking straight.
そうですね。先輩、私と自分に怒ってて怖い顔してました。先輩には迷惑をかけてばかりですけど、さっきのは本当に悪いことをしたんだなって 反省したんですよ。
Sakura's so gentle. She's still getting over her illness, but how do I put it? It isn't the unusual Sakura that's trying to do her best in front of me. It's like I'm seeing the real Sakura.
それで少し子供の頃を思い出しちゃいました。私、子供の頃は家にこもってばかりで言いたいことも言えなかった。私が本当の気持ちを言わなければみんなうまくいくって思い込んでずっとけど、それじゃダメですよね。私は心配かけたくなくて黙っていたけど、それがもっとお父さんや兄さんを心配させてたんです。
Huh? But you only did it because you care about your dad and Shinji, so I'm sure your feelings got through to them. Not everything needs to be said out loud.
そうですね。それで先輩はどうだったんですか？私、先輩が子供の頃の話あんまり聞いたことないんです。
Oh, me? It wasn't really any different from my life now. I ran around during the day, cooked for my old man, and fixed junk here at night. Feeling bashful, I scratched my cheek. It's a little embarrassing that it's a little embarrassing as a man to admit that my life hasn't changed since childhood.
うわぁ、街中を走り回ってたんですか？
I was playing patrol. I always wanted to be someone strong who helps the lead. My main battlefield was the park. I recall spending a lot of time there with other kids my age, picking fights with slightly older kids. I vaguely recall one of the kids who was really clever for their age, whom I saw as a devilish nemesis.
なるほど。一目っ子から街を守ってたんですね。先輩、昔からそういう人だったんだ。
Sakura, when you say that with a smile, it just makes me regret everything I've ever done. You're embarrassing me.
恥ずかしくなんかないです。私、子供の頃に先輩と会ってたらきっと子分にしてもらってました。私みたいな引っ込み思案には手を取って外に連れ出してくれる人がいないとダメなんです。
My henchman? Actually, I bet Sakura would have traded with me daily if we'd known each other as kids. I can definitely imagine my younger self shouting motivational phrases at her as we ran along the riverbed or meditated in the dojo. Anyone watching us would have seen us as boss and minion. Then Sakura would have grown up big and strong under my guidance like this. Or a devil in girl's clothing like this. Ugh. I feel a sudden chill. Thank goodness she turned out so modest and graceful.
先輩。
Sorry, just spaced out for a second. Don't mind me, I'm just talking to myself.
はい、それはいいんですけど、その聞きにくいことを聞いてしまっていいですか？
Sure, what is it?
藤村先生から聞いたんですけど、先輩、エミヤの家に引き取られた養子だって本当ですか？
Didn't I mention it before? Yeah, Kiritsugu adopted me.
先輩、それってその
It isn't really a secret, it's just what it is. Why do you ask?
先輩は気にしてないんですか？知らない家にもらわれていっぱい嫌なこととかあったんじゃないんですか？
Ah, Fujine must have put that idea in your head. Well, it might have looked that way during the first year, but I don't think it was that bad, and there wasn't anything I truly disliked.
じゃあ楽しかったんですか？先輩は。
This is the first time anyone's ever asked me that. After the fire, my first year with Kiritsugu was a difficult one, spent mostly recovering from my injuries. After that, I've just been on the move day after day, like I still am now. I followed Kiritsugu's footsteps to learn magecraft, found meeting and helping as many people as I could, and spent my days roaming the town. Can I truly say that I enjoyed it? I've never had the luxury of considering that question. I'm not sure. I don't know if I can say it was fun. I just wanted to be like my old man.
それは内村先生が言っていたような正義の味方にですか?
Sakura timidly asks, and I answer, yeah, is that weird? I feel bashful about it, but I say how I really feel.
いいえ、先輩は間違ってません。まっすぐでかっこいいです。
Her words are calm. Normally they'd make me so embarrassed I couldn't look her in the eye, but the sentiment goes straight to my heart, and I feel like thanking her.
じゃあもう一つ聞きますね、先輩。もし私が悪い人になったら許せませんか?
Huh? I'm taken aback by the sudden question. But if I consider it seriously... No, Sakura, if you do something bad, then I'll be angry. I think I'd be twice as mad as I'd be at anyone else. I'd probably push everything else from my mind and scold Sakura in that case.
よかった。先輩にならいいです。
Sakura nods in apparent relief. Seeing her smile, I feel like this has happened before.
部屋に戻りますね。おやすみなさい、先輩。
Sakura returns to her bedroom. I watch her leave, then get the odd feeling that I'm forgetting something. I go back to my bedroom. I slip into bed quietly to avoid waking Saber and close my eyes. I remember. Finally, I realize what's been nagging at my mind. That's right, it was in the shed back then, too. 2 years ago. No, a year and a half to be exact. It was 2 summers ago. Sakura had come over several times asking me to help out around the house, and I turned her down each time. But she wouldn't back down. She showed up here every day, showing more stubbornness than I'd known she had. Eventually, I gave in. Her tenacity impressed me, and one day, I called her over to the shed to declare my surrender. You win, Sakura, so I'm giving you this. It was an old key. Kiritsugu used to use it, and it had been put away in the shed for years. I handed it over to Sakura. Sakura was shocked, but vehemently refused it, saying she didn't deserve to have it. If memory serves, she insisted that she was too much of a stranger to hold on. If memory serves, she insisted that she was too much of a stranger to hold on to even a duplicate of the key. Listen, you're not a stranger. You come over and help me every day. Use this to come and go whenever you want. It would help me out a lot. I didn't take no for an answer and pushed it into her hands. That's when I saw it.
はい、ありがとうございます、先輩。大切な人から物をもらったのはこれで2度目です。
Sakura nodded, looking elated. Yeah, so that was it. That's what I was struggling to remember. Sakura always tries her best, and her smile is always kind and gentle. I haven't seen her look this content since that summer day. Interlude 6-1 Heaven's Feel. Ryoto Temple, now a barren place since Castor's demise. The monks who collapsed due to an unknown illness all left the mountain, leaving the temple completely uninhabited. The gates are tightly shut to even residents of the temple, to say nothing of visitors.
ひどい匂いだ。 鼻が曲がるどころの話じゃねえな。
A voice echoes in the empty temple grounds. Lancer? His lithe blue form is illuminated by the moonlight. This muscular body without a gram of excess and the long scarlet weapon belong to the servant called Lancer.
おうおう、キャスターがくたばったってのに結界は健在か。いや、醜悪さは以前より5割増し。これに比べればキャスターは上品だったな。
Lancer casually peers out over the temple grounds. He grips his crimson spear. Intelligence gathering and observation are his primary tasks. He isn't happy about it, but orders are orders. It's his policy to follow his lord's commands and deliver the results asked of him. Accordingly, he's skirmished with several servants so far and disengaged each time. Lancer hasn't fought any battles on his own initiative per his contract with his master. Tonight's scouting mission to Ryudo Temple is no exception. So he shouldn't need his spear. He can conjure his noble phantasm anytime he wishes. One would think it unnecessary to be armed when there's no enemy to fight.
キーキーうるせえこと。キャスターは風使いと呼んでたんだが、水気の女だったのかね。雲だのカエルだの陰湿な輩が多いが。
He walks through the temple grounds. His manner appears utterly defenseless and unbecoming of a servant. So unguarded is he that on the off chance another servant is lurking nearby, he would surely perish in an ambush.
ああ、頭をすげ替えられたって線もあるな。ここは腐った小虫しかいない。持ち主不在の廃屋に救うのはお前たちの常套手段だ。
Someone's abandoned house? Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was available with the Spirit Halloween sign in front. Lancer's foul mood doesn't lift. The blue-clad spearman admonishes someone who isn't present.
にしても、一匹でかいのがいるな。どこの生まれか知らないが、山奥で獣と暮らしていた面してやがる。おまけになんだこりゃ。砂の匂いか。へっ、大雲かと思えば小汚い砂虫とはな。やだやだ。なんだってこんなしけた野郎の偵察なんかしなきゃならねえのかなった。
He bats aside a silver flash of light. With a single flourish of his spear, the Lancer deflects 3 deadly darts from the darkness. The wicked daggers plunge into the ground. They're dirks, short knives made not for slicing, but skewering their unlucky target. Each was hurled with unerring accuracy at Lancer's two eyes and windpipe, respectively.
いい腕だ。が、二度とはするなよ、砂虫。挨拶もなしで命を取られるのは趣味じゃねえし、何よりお前にとっちゃ命取りだ。
The muscle-blued form spaces the darkness. Something faintly shifts in the gloom of the shrine. A skull laughs, its bony facade as white as the moon. The battle commences without preamble. The white skull shrieks and no human tongue as it attacks Link. Who meets its ambush without so much as twitching an eyebrow. The skulls of young Turks are on par with archer's arrows. 30 in total are loose from the darkness at very close range, and Lancer parries every single one. The skull halts. That's strange. No matter how capable a spearman Lancer is, he surely can't have blocked every single one of these skull's daggers, each aimed precisely enough to thread a needle. Moreover, his opponent wields a polearm. The darts were aimed at the spear's blind angles, and should have struck his bony fighting force. So how could Lancer have defeated every last one?
おい、まさかとは思うが、お前の芸はそれだけか。
Protection from wind. No, protection from arrows. It's protection from arrows. assassin has protection from wind. Lancer's demeanor changes. He stops, and his merely curious hostility shifts to its permanent intent to kill the skull.
ならこれでしまいだ。お前が何者か知らんが、まあその仮面ぐらいは剥がすとするか。
More daggers surge out of the darkness. Just as Lancer is about to advance on the skull, he is intercepted by a frenzied rush. And that too is thwarted. With only a subtle movement of his spear, Lancer nullifies attacks he shouldn't even be able to see. The skull mask trembles. It doesn't speak, but it floats down its next tree, starting into staring into sleep with the enemy coming for its head. It aims another dagger at Lancer's throat, between a gap in the spear's movement. The skull mask trembles. As Lancer's spear deflects the dagger, it spins in a neat circle in Lancer's hand, arching up into the air, attacking the skull's jaw. Defense and repose. Both maneuvers executed perfectly simultaneously. The skull has no way of defending itself in mid-flight. The white mask falls. Lancer doesn't press the attack. His orders are to merely observe the enemy. Even if this is a golden opportunity to execute his opponent, he lacks the authority to make that decision.
バカが言っただろう。俺に飛び道具はうまくないと。忠告を聞かなかったのはそっちの方だぜ。
Lancer reorients his spear toward his enemy, which is hiding its face and calmly watches. A dark body, a right arm contained in bandages. Its face, one concealed by a white skull mask, is now shrouded in darkness and difficult to make out clearly. No, it would be closer to call it featureless, lacking obvious protrusions or repressions.
私の面を見たな、ランサー。
そりゃこれからだ。サーバントには違いないようだしな。どこの英雄かはっきりさせるとするか。
なるほど、余分な縛りがあったのか。道理で殺さないわけだ。
The servant retreats, cloaked in shadow. A dirk is clutched in its hand, its lethal intent towards Lancer undiminished.
やめとけ。生まれつきでな。目に見えている相手からの飛び道具なんざ通じねえんだよ。よっぽどのものじゃない限り、その距離からの投擲は効かねえぞ。
そうか、流れ屋の加護か。さすがは夏希の英霊。私などとは物が違う。
Shadows sway. The dark servant crouches down low like a spider. Then suddenly flings another dagger while leaping high into the air. If his high leap can be compared to that of a deer, then one might compare its frantic scurry to that of a spider, snake, or scorpion. The servant flees, hiding its face. The speed of its flight is on par with Lancer, but Lancer's explosive bursts of agility are without fear. It would be unthinkable for him to need more than a moment to close in on his prey.
確かに喉を狙ったんだが、しぶといな。治ってるってわけじゃねえし、あれぶっ飛んでやがるな。
Lancer gives chase, his enemies skating on the wet surface like a water sprayer. His pursuit churns and splits the water in contrast with his target's elegant escape, but the water strider has no hope of outrunning him.
痛みで止まらねえんなら、付け根でも切りつければよかったが。他の連中には通じねえ手だからな。つい後回しにしちまったが。
For a human, the severing of one's limbs or major arteries is a critical injury. A laceration to the aorta, for instance, would cause catastrophic blood loss, leading to certain death in combat. but this logic only applies to a conventional battle between mortals. It is unrealistic to expect a servant, a mighty heroic spirit, to die of exsanguination, as they are empowered not by blood but magical energy. Injuring a major blood vessel would only amount to less effective secondary means of harm. It would be a different story if one were to cripple all 4 limbs, but no servant is so easily immobilized. Any time wasted on less lethal, immobilizing wounds could expose the attacker to a lethal riposte.
なるほど。だが通覚を殺す手に頼るような英霊に治癒能力などあるまい。次の打ち込みで蹴りをつけるか。
Lancer crosses the body of water in a geyser and gust. In 2 seconds, his prey will be in hand. In a flash, he moves to cleave the fleeing water strider from the left hip. Lancer immediately leaps in retreat. The water's surface jumps. No, something in it bears its fangs. Dark, thin tendrils chase Lancer into the air. It's as if the water itself attacks him. The spectacle brings to mind ancient horrors lurking in ocean depths.
これは
Lancer has nowhere to run. He strikes the water with his spear and uses every room he possesses to inscribe a bounded field into the lake bed, but it is easily consumed by his pursuer. Dark tentacles surround him, eating up his safe haven second by second. Activated fully in concert, his runes are powerful enough to defend against a greater noble phantasm, but they barely even manage to slow the thing down. Assassin cackles.
どうしたランサー。動かねば飲まれるぞ。
The water strider floats on the water, reveling in the sight. But it too is no exception from the tentacle's hunger. It doesn't dare approach the blackened water for fear of being consumed. It knows that the dark tentacles will instantly shift its attention to any new prey.
だがそうはいかん。お前を仕留めるのは私だ。未だ経験が足りないのでな。お前を打倒し、足りない知能を補わねば。
So is this a level up for you? Light glints off the strider's dagger. It throws its dagger at the immobilized Lancer. Still, it is futile. Even while fully engaged with his bizarre foe, Lancer is immune to the projectile attack.
懲りないやつだ。まあ、強気になるのはわかるんだが。
Lancer observes the tentacles surrounding him. Assassin has lured him a considerable distance from shore. It's 30 meters to the nearest bank. He can easily cross that piddling distance in a single
そ
bound.
こで動かなかったお前の負けだ。様子見も済んだ。ここらで引き上げさせてもらおうか。
Why is the text so jumbled up? His voice doesn't sound all that distorted. Lancer's body sinks, his spear warping. He takes a great leap into the air with the aid of his spear, but then an utterly simple, straightforward attack is unleashed. A false heart emerges from Lancer's chest. From an impossible distance, still bobbing on the lake's surface, Assassin gouges out the spearman's chest. It is one of the purest forms of magecraft, the most simplified of curses. A cursed arm specializing in cursing humans, passed down through Middle Eastern magecraft. Assassin's noble phantasm, Zabaniya, delusional heartbeat. It destroys Lancer's heart without fail. The spearman's lifeless body sinks into the dark water. The water dances. It writhes in stimulation, restless, brutal, vulgar. The sight of a caged and starved beast throwing fresh meat will pale before the satisfied. Countless dark tentacles like appendages consumed the man-shaped heroic spirit. Floating on the black lake, the faceless servant drinks something red into lake. Interlude out. Ransa Gashinda! Save game. Save the game. Yes. Alright. And I think that's going to do it for tonight. Or for today. So, hopefully we'll be able to do this a little bit sooner in the week. Thanks for checking this out. I hope you enjoy, and see you next time.